Lens reflex.
Aperture is one of the three pillars of photography, the other two being shutter speed and ISO, and certainly the most important. In this article, we go through everything you need to know about aperture and how it works. What is aperture? Aperture can be defined as the opening in a lens through which light passes to enter the camera. It is an easy concept to understand if you just think about how your eyes work. As you move between bright and dark environments, the iris in your eyes either expands or shrinks, controlling the size of your pupil. In photography, the pupil of your lens is called aperture. You can shrink or enlarge the size of the aperture to allow more or less light to reach your camera's sensor. This image shows an aperture in a lens. Aperture can add dimension to your photos by controlling depth of field. At one extreme, aperture gives you a blurred background with a beautiful shallow focus effect. At the other, it will give you sharp photos from the nearby foreground to the distant horizon. On top of that, it also alters the exposure of your images by making them brighter or darker. A large aperture, a wide opening, will pass a lot of light, resulting in a brighter photograph. A small aperture does just the opposite, making a photo darker. To see how it affects exposure in a dark environment, indoors, or at night, you will probably want to select a large aperture to capture as much light as possible. This is the same reason why your pupils dilate when it starts to get dark. How aperture affects depth of field. The other critical effect of aperture is depth of field. Depth of field is the amount of your photograph that appears sharp from front to back. Some images have a thin or shallow depth of field, where the background is completely out of focus. Other images have a large or deep depth of field, where both the foreground and background are sharp. What are f-stop and f-number? So far, we have only discussed aperture in general terms like large and small. However, it can also be expressed as a number known as f-number or f-stop, with the letter f appearing before the number, like f/8. Most likely, you have noticed this on your camera before. On your LCD screen or viewfinder, your aperture will look something like this: f/2, f/3.5, f/8, and so on. Some cameras omit the slash and write f-stops like this: f2, f3.5, f8, and so on. For example, the Nikon camera is set to an aperture of f/8.